9 to 11 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Tampa Bay's TAN Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Stay right there. The Shrink and Wrap Show starts right now.
Don't wave no goodbye. Don't take me tongue-tied. Don't kiss me goodnight. Take me to your bedroom now. Go around this house.
Oh my gosh. Don't leave me tongue-tied. I'm tongue-tied right now. Are you tongue-tied?
Absolutely.
We're all tongue-tied. And welcome to the Shrink and Wrap Show. Hello, Hollywood Chris.
Hollywood.
DJ Avery, are you tongue-tied?
I'm always tongue-tied.
You are. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, welcome to the Shrink and Wrap Show to all of you out there today, enjoying your wonderful Thursday. And you're listening to TAN Talk on TAN Talk Radio 106.1. And this is the Shrink and Wrap Show. And we are your community station. So thank you for giving us a shout out there. I always say that this is a show a little bit about something about nothing, honestly. I try to have positive topics, and we have been talking about modern dating in today's world. So DJ Avery, am I echoing or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay, I just want to make, does everybody sound good? Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Are we all good?
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
Y'all,
Very good.
are y'all
Very
ready?
good.
I'm a pilot. We're getting ready to take off.
Okay,
All right, let's
turn
do
up
it.
that dial.
So be tongue-tied. Can anyone tell me who sings that song?
Oh, gosh.
Don't cheat.
I knew
Don't
you were
cheat.
gonna ask
Don't
that.
look about when it. Oh, this is an easy one. Here, let's play charades.
Okay, charades.
All
Do
right,
it.
there's a bunch
Let's
of us
go.
here.
Scratch.
Scratch.
Group
Scratch.
and Group Love. I can't wait. I got
Group
10 seconds.
Love.
Yeah. That was by
Oh,
Group
would have never
Love.
guessed.
Oh, she said the word group love.
It's
oh my
Group
gosh,
Love.
you gave it to us. How
She was
blonde
going
are we?
group
Renee.
Yeah, I say group because I
Renee
got
around town. How blonde are we?
or
Yeah.
really blonde right now.
I mean, blonde.
Chris to the left, to the left. Can you move to the left, to the left? Your muscles are blocking DJ Avery over there.
Oh, Lord. Bring that microphone right on over, Hollywood.
So anyway, again, yes, that's right. You hear it all here. This is real. It's live radio, and we love radio. We want to keep it in the community because I think it's a great communication.
Yeah.
And we want to keep the energy up. We
Yeah.
want to lift people up because no one out there should be alone, and that's what we're here for. We're actually inviting you to our lunch break, and what we do is we have shrinks who are licensed therapists who offer suggestions and opinions to whatever today's topic is, as well as the rap's point of view. And then what I love to do is I like to tie in songs to kind of tie into the topic sometimes. So listen to the lyrics of the songs. Songs can unlock thoughts in your brain or help you solve problems. They can lift you up and they can help you release those things that are inside of you that you can't really define or use words to. And sometimes can give you answers to your soul. Do you all agree with that?
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So-
I agree saying that most people that write songs write about their life.
Yes.
They write about something out
Relatable.
there that touches your heart
Yep.
some way or another. Right, Hollywood?
Absolutely.
What touches your heart? Kung Fu fighting?
Reggae music.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I love reggae music.
Oh, reggae.
Reggae.
Oh, well, next week, maybe we'll have a little, well, not next week,
Yeah.
maybe the following week. So I got a plan for, I'll tell you about our show next week. But the following week, we'll have a reggae. That'll be perfect because
Yeah.
it's summertime
A little
here.
Bob Marley.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
Did you guys go to the reggae festival?
No.
We did not. We were hanging out in Jupiter.
Ah,
Oh, right.
well, okay. Well, I know we were all somewhere enjoying our time, and that's what it's all about, living your best life. And again, this is a show where I don't want to bring up negativity. I don't want to know who murdered who or who, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear about the crime rate. I don't want to hear about all that stuff. So again, this is just a show we want to focus on positive stuff for the most
It didn't
part.
happen here at the radio station, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good. That's
Yeah,
right.
That's all that matters,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's good. So, and again, also remember that this show is suggestions and opinions only.
Mhm.
Suggestions and opinions, and it's just for entertainment. So we want you to understand that. I'd like to thank my sponsor. And I also, again, want to remind you, it is a community station. And before we go into today's topic, I'd like to give a shout out to Frontier Flooring. We went to the Rick Springfield concert last night.
How was that?
Wow.
I got to tell you, I'm going to have a whole show next week on it. It was incredible. Incredible.
Was it?
So I want to
Good.
save all the details for next week
Okay.
because it was an 80s concert.
Oh, love that.
and the music was incredible. And let me tell you what I loved about this concert. I love that these guys, and when you recognize the songs, you'll say, "Oh my God," because
Yeah.
there was like 5 bands or 5 groups. But what I love is their enthusiasm for life. They're in their mid 70s
Yeah.
and 80s. They look amazing.
Yeah.
They're living their best life, and they're an inspiration to all.
And they're still performing.
yeah,
well.
they're performing. They
They
sounded
sound
great.
great.
I
That's
mean,
the thing.
yeah.
Every time we go to a concert like that, and there's still one living member,
Yeah,
you
there's
say,
only one.
and they just sound amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
But it's so nice to have mentors out there, and for men too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like he's 74, 75, 76. He's in mid 70s, and he's not stopping. None of those guys were, and it was an incredible
And they-
concert.
yeah, and they
So-
have a road grinding, tour.
Yeah.
They're on tour.
Oh yeah, it just
Who were
started.
the other groups? Who were the other groups?
Well, I'm going to surprise everybody
Ah,
next
you gotta
week.
talk about
Yeah,
that. Are
yeah.
you going to do some songs?
I'm
from
going to
it?
do all this. It's going to be all
all right.
next week.
I'm ready to wait.
Yeah, I'm dedicating the show next week
Sounds
to
good.
last night. But I will
Okay.
tell you, I did get to pat Rick's on the back. I'll tell you about. You have to stay tuned for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You got to
So-
meet him. I
Yeah.
know.
No,
I know
we
you.
were. No, we know.
Yeah.
No. I'll tell you next week.
Oh, I
It'll
know
be suspicious.
exactly.
Next
Yay.
week, stay
Can't wait
tuned.
to hear.
Stay tuned next week if you're an 80s person. You want to stay here next week. But I do again want to give out a shout out to Frontier Flooring. But it was a great concert. Get out, live your best life. That's all we want you to do. So we're just sharing. So with that being said, stay tuned. Right here, I've got my entertainment host, Renee, who's going to tell you what's going on in the Tampa Bay community, St. Pete, Clearwater. Towards the end of the show, I've got Detective Jay, who is
Hello.
going to tell us what to look for and for safety tips. And I also have Hollywood Chris, who's going to talk a little bit about the month that we just had and in appreciation for Memorial Weekend, right?
Okay.
So you can give us a
Yeah.
little something like
I'm
that.
hoping he's going to jump in on this conversation too.
Well, of course, we always like a male's point of view.
Of course.
Of course.
And DJ Avery, last week, we appreciate you as well. You always give your male point of view, and we want that. So together in this, and let's get a loosen up song going on because that's what we need.
When I met you in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue. You act so innocent now, but you lied so soon. When I met you in the summer, in the summer, to my heartbeat sound, we fell in love as the leaves turn brown. And we could be together, baby, as long as skies are blue.
And they met during the summer. Oh, you get the A today. Oh, you get a lollipop.
Yeah, that's.
I'm going to bring a lollipop over.
Oh, yeah, but I guess Linda Ronstadt too.
Oh, but no.
So two lollipops.
Yeah,
huh?
2.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, you're good, girl.
I might get 3 before
You're
we leave here.
good.
Yeah.
I love it. So Renee is right. It's Summer by Calvin Harris. So that was our Loosen Up song, and it is summertime. And we're going to see what happens after he meets you in the summer, because we're going to learn Modern Dating 101. And we're continuing our conversations on that. It has been a big request in the single world. When you become single in a modern world, it has a whole nother, we have something going on in here. Are we good? Oh, your lights have to be on. Are you good? It's live radio. You got you got
get a feedback.
I can hear it, but then I was
Radio 101.
I was hearing it, so I took took them off.
No, it's all good. It's good. It's good. So, all right, back to pilot mode. So when you're in modern world today, dating, there's some vocabulary words, and even if you're not dating, these are good terms to kind of learn. And today we're going to talk about love bombing. So, is Rowene on the line?
I am. Hello.
Hi, Rowene. How are you doing?
I'm terrific. How are things with you?
Doing good. Thank you for being here with us today again. And for those of you out there for the Shrink and Wrap show, Rowene is shrink number 4. And she's been joining us and talking about the modern love in today's world. And the vocabulary words, we talked about alpha dog. That's a word. Yeah. We turned it into soup. We also, love bombing is another term. So I'm going to hand you the floor and you tell us about love bombing. And again, this is shrink number 4 and it's for entertainment purposes and suggestions and opinions. Take it away, Rowene.
Well, loving at its core is a manipulative tactic that's used early on in relationships to get attached very quickly. It's when the relation, and like very early on, there's constant texting, calling, messaging, fast declarations of love or wanting to move in, making comments about getting married after just a couple of interactions, excessive compliments and praise. And they often push quickly for an intense commitment. There can be talk about soulmates or meant to be from the very beginning. And there is often gifts that are involved. And both males and females can love bomb. But when you start to feel it, like they're moving really much faster than the time you've known each other warrants, that's a big red flag. Psychologically speaking, generally what's going on with those folks is they have narcissistic personality disorder or borderline personality disorder. There's some sort of deeper psychological wounds that they're trying to compensate for. So it's always something to be aware of, even though it can feel really good if you've been alone for a long time, or if you've been dating with some lackluster folks and been ghosted a lot. It can feel really good when these people come to you with all of this attention that you haven't been getting. But be aware that it can lead to emotional abuse, gaslighting, jealousy, and domestic violent manipulation, isolation, many things that in the long run are not good for us. And so love bombing is a thing that you want to be aware of, and that you, if for both yourself, if you're thinking you want to do those things, or if you're receiving it.
Do you think, Rowene, there's a fine line between a new relationship and having a lot of normal courtship going on? Do you think, where's that line where you're going, okay, I think this is normal, and when it isn't, like when it is becoming love bombing? How do you define that line?
You need to find that line. And as in life, everything happens on a continuum, and everybody's line is different. So one of the main things to be aware of is your own level of comfort with how quickly things are happening.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying.
Love bombing is rushed and it's intense. And so it's not as healthy. The other thing to look for when you're trying to decide if it's healthy or not is mutual respect. If you make a comment to the other person about, I think we need to take it slower, or you need to back off a little bit, and they continue to run over top of what you have to say, again, another red flag. Healthy relationships offer some space, some independence. Love bombing does not. They want to be attached to your side immediately.
And that's generally because they have something from bringing into a relationship from their past, or like you said, narcissism, correct?
Absolutely. It can be trauma. It can be a narcissistic personality disorder or a borderline personality disorder. There are a number of reasons why it can happen, but it's all based in a psychological wound. Mm-hmm. And that is not going to lead to any sort of healthy connection, especially giving someone space and independence. And by the time we get to a little bit older age, we have independent lives going on. And so we're looking for people who will make them better, not take away what we've already got.
And my other question is then, as you get older and in the dating world, when is it to, like, you're right, people are by themselves, they're very independent, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody and they just want to move in right away. What's the definition of that?
You put your tennis shoes on and you run.
And you
if they want to run, and if they want to leave in with you quick,
you put the red
I would say
flag
run.
on.
Right.
I would say run.
You got to set the boundary then.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think something's up with that.
Yes.
If you meet some guy and he wants to move in tomorrow, you've got to run.
Or
Do you
3 weeks
think
later.
Or vice versa.
Right. 100%.
For men too, if a woman wants to do that.
I agree.
I was just about to ask that question. Rowene, do you have any statistics maybe on, does women do that more to men or men do that more to women? You know,
typically men do that more to women. However, with the women, the term borderline personality disorder tends to apply more to women than to men. So the numbers show us that men do it more than women. However, women who are from traumatized psychologically will do it as well.
But what is the reason that men do it more so to women? And is the age difference between older men and younger men wanting to run at warp speed? What is the difference there? Is it more like they want to have somebody to take care of them? They need constant reassurance. They need security financially, whatever.
There are a few things that are going on with that. And it's very common for older men to look for a nurse with a purse.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
That
I
nurse
like that
with,
phrase.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Hollywood, a nurse with a purse. What's up with that? Do you ever heard that before?
Never.
Wait, can I say something though too? Because I think it's very, very important not to group, because I think this is a problem in society. You can't say one for them all. It's not fair, because you get, I just want to say that when you say younger and older,
give me a percentage. Is this more so with the younger couples? Mid to younger. Not
I just
young,
hate grouping everybody with one person. Like I'm a C.
You were talking about.
I was asking
that. We were just talking about men or women.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, no, it's okay. I just want to say that because
I want to know the statistics.
Definitely
Like,
not group people together for sure.
I'm sorry. I just had to say that for some reason. But
Okay. Nope. It's hard to say. They don't have yet specific numbers. There are generalities in the way, unfortunately, the way we look at mental health. And the people who recently did the DSM-5, which is the mental health Bible, if you will, it lists all of the disorders and the treatment for them. But people who created this last one, there were it was all men. And they did not ask for outside help and collaboration with what they said. So, having said all of that,
does that make it bad, Hollywood?
Gray area.
No.
There's some gray area.
They narcissistic personality disorder out as a specific standalone diagnosis and put it under what they call cluster B diagnoses, which has in it borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder. It has some other things combined. So in order to do research specifically on narcissism, it makes it much harder now that we only have the cluster B category.
Yeah. Rowena, I kind of feel like personally, we've talked about this on the show before. I think narcissist that's just a term that is almost overused. And I kind of feel like everybody has a little bit of that. I mean, I just think it's a little bit of life, but then there's clinically, where they're clinical, and I don't even know if they know what they are. But what I want to ask you is, we're always looking at how everybody else should be and how they should treat us and what we should look for. But how do we look within ourselves? Because I actually think when you identify your own personality and what you attract in your life,
absolutely,
I really think personally, with wisdom a little bit, that when you start looking at your own personality, maybe take a personality test and then create those boundaries for these other things that you learn about and communicate. But how does one go about that? How do you know what your personality is? Let's start with yourself, because I think when you're like, he needs to change, she needs to change. Is there a personality
test? How do you
test?
navigate that situation?
Yeah, it's very important to look inside. There is actually a book out called Am I the Problem? Which
is a good one.
Yeah.
Talks about reviewing what your own needs, wants, desires, taking a hard look at how did you contribute to the endings of whatever the relationships are.
Yeah, because I think some personalities attract the other and you have the same patterns in your life sometimes.
Well, you do. Remember, I have said many times that our brain functions 100% of the time, but we are only consciously aware of 5%. That means the other 95% is in our subconscious, and it informs our emotions, our decisions, our choice points. And so if we don't do the work to become aware of what our patterns are, then we are doomed to repeat them over and over. And that's what are we bringing to the table?
Yeah, because I think it takes a lot to look within yourself and make changes. I mean, you could, everyone that's listening to you right now on the Shrink and Wrap show, how do you know if this is not you? I mean, maybe it's you that has these problems that are projecting on someone else. You know, it's one thing to create a boundary, but then it's another to say, maybe I give this off to somebody and correct yourself.
And that's why we need to all continue to evolve emotionally and learn all the time.
Exactly.
From
right.
past. Or
self-exploration is essential.
Yeah.
And at the end of each job, each relationship that doesn't work out the way you'd like, it's really important to take a look at how did I contribute to that?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the way you contributed was by staying too long and enabling.
Well, and working on the problem by understanding to create a boundary for yourself, because you might love that person, but they might have that personality that they don't know about, but you can communicate about and make them aware of it. So if someone's constantly love bombing, they might be doing it, but not realizing what they're doing. I guess is what I'm getting at. Does that make sense? I don't mean to take it all over the map with my ADD, but
well,
am I making sense to a little bit?
Yeah, I think that
a little bit. The thing is, most true narcissists don't know they're narcissists.
Even if you bring it to their attention?
They will deny it.
Yeah, most of them.
Because their favorite line is, you made me do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
They can't, there's not an ability to self-reflect on their shortcomings.
Right.
Because for them, that seems like that would be the end of the world if they are the one that's wrong.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think personalities are so, because you're born with who you are. And then it's like, you know, it's sometimes like, but we're on love bombing. I'm taking it all over the map. I said I wasn't going to do this. Mm-hmm. So let's stick to love bombing. So love bombing. Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of pieces that go with what else you were bringing up.
Yeah.
But some of the things that you can do that can set the tone early and let you know if this is a red flag or not, is set boundaries early. Even if you don't want to, even if you're as happy and as in limerence with them as they are with you, make yourself slow down and notice what their response is to the slowing down.
And that'll give you your answer.
And that will give you your...
And then it becomes your problem for not seeing it as it is. Yeah.
But this is the thing. What if they're love bombing? They really genuinely mean it. They really they're really trying to give you a love language.
Right. I was saying that
earlier. Yeah. So there's a fine line with all that.
And I think you have to say too,
they still won't, even if they truly love you and truly want to take care of you and give you everything, they won't object to you asking to slow down. A person
they won't or will?
Really, it will not.
Okay.
So I wonder if men handle that differently. I wonder if men handle that differently than women.
That goes back to some of that alpha dog situation. But in general, if a person is respectful, whether it's a man or a woman, that's what you're looking for, is mutual respect. And if one person says we need to slow down, the other person needs to respect that and say, okay. Otherwise, that is a huge red flag.
Yeah. That's...
Any closing statements, ladies and gentlemen? DJ Avery, anybody?
How about some men chiming in here?
What do we got?
Love bombing. Short-term memory.
Got anything to say, DJ or Hollywood?
Hollywood, either one.
I tell you, the language I'm not born in the United States. So I came from a small country, third world country. And my wife of 26 years is born here in the United States of America. So you talk about cultural differences when you first start. Then we got together in law enforcement, 2 alphas per day. And then at night, one person has to back off. You can't have 2 alphas at the house, 2 alphas at work. It's not going to work. So it's a give and take thing. But who's going to give and who's going to, and you know what? I even go further that she got promoted above me after a few years and was making more money than I was. So, there you go. The male is supposed to be the
Oh, there's alpha, female, alpha, male. We turned that word into soup a couple of weeks. And to me, it wasn't a bad word.
No,
it's a
not.
word but even the people that were on, we learned someone had a concern about it, and we all learned that it's actually not a bad word. I mean, it's actually about leadership, and that sort of thing. In my opinion, it's when it becomes when they bring you down, But that to me is outside of that. That's a whole nother. Words can be mixed up in so many ways. Yeah. DJ, but thank you for sharing that. But there's alpha females too and alpha males, but it could be a good thing. And then there's other levels of it. Any comments on that, Roeen?
No, that's absolutely on target. It's a give and take. Even in alphas are good leaders, but they're respectful of the people that they're in community with. Yeah. And listen to what's being said. Yeah. If somebody is willing to listen to you and respect your thoughts and opinions, that's not going to be a healthy relationship. Yeah.
I'm going to say in my house, my last dog, Cooper, he was the alpha dog. And my new dog, Roxy, who is a female, is the alpha dog.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have to say on that.
Oh.
Any closing statements on love bombing, modern world of dating? This is just vocabulary words that you hear. And I just want to get to the bottom of it, and plus it's just something to talk about.
And it's a great part of relationships.
Yeah, it is. And then how to
that's the
handle
topic
it.
that we're
And don't listen, keep love happy too, because all these, elevate love. There's so much good, but maybe we overthink a lot. There's no doubt, but these are terms that do come up.
Absolutely.
So Roeen, we thank you. Any closing statement before I go to my next song?
Just be sure to look inward and then set good boundaries.
What word?
Pardon me?
What word did you say? I'm sorry.
Be sure and look inward.
Inward. Okay. I thought you said, okay, thank you. Okay.
And then set good boundaries.
I love that. Great advice for so many topics. And today it was on love bombing. Roeen, can you tell everybody your contact information if they would like to talk to you more about modern dating or anything else?
Absolutely. My website is www.roeen.net. And my phone number is 813-857-2401.
Thank you so much for everything, Roeen. We appreciate you so much. And again, we're in this together. This is our community. And this is the Shrink and Wrap Show at Tan Talk Radio, 106.1 FM. Don't change that dial. We've got more to come right here after our main song from DJ Avery. Let's listen to these words.
These words are my own. Threw some chords together. The combination D-E-F is who I am, is what I do. And I was gonna lay it down for you. I tried to focus my attention, but I feel so ADD. I need some help, some inspiration, but it's not coming easily. Trying to find the magic, trying to write a classic. Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know? Waves been full of paper, clever rhymes, see you later. These words are my own, from my heart. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no other way to better say I love you, love you. Read some Byron, Shelley, and Keats, recited it over a hip-hop beat. I'm having trouble saying what I mean with dead poets and drum machines. You know I not right is ever good enough. These words from my heart, from my heart flow. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
These words, love bombing or not, what do y'all think?
Oh, good words. Good words.
Good
Yeah.
words. These words, communication is so important. I think that's the most important thing. And you know what? That was by Natasha Bedingfield, one of my favorite
Yes,
artists.
she's great.
I like her.
She's got great lyrics,
Yes.
and they're
I like her.
actually great therapy. You know, we started the show off the Shrink and Wrap show, and I used her song so much I was afraid I'd get in trouble. But you can only do it for 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, right.
So I
You have
stopped using it.
copyright then.
Yeah, because I didn't know nothing
Yeah, yeah.
about Radio 101.
Right.
But these words by Natasha Bedingfield, her songs have so much meaning. And they come from her heart, and they're great therapy songs. Unwritten was the one that I used all the time because your story out there, your story, the ones that are listening to us right now on the Shrink and Wrap show, is unwritten. Every day is a page in your book. And that's the theme of this show. But listen to Natasha Bedingfield whenever you kind of need some therapy, music therapy, take a listen to her songs. But these words I really like too. So it comes from her heart. So, okay, we're going to switch over. By the way, DJ, Ava, are you doing good in there?
I'm always good.
You're always good. I love it. I love that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, do you remember Detective Jay is going to come on now, and we're going to talk a little bit more about love bombing. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Is that what we're talking about too?
Yeah.
All right, but I do have something I found while I was cleaning up my closet.
Oh, yeah?
I found the key to the city.
Oh, yes.
That's hilarious.
And it's a hat. It was in my house, everybody, in Tampa for Gasparilla. And we couldn't find the key, but my house has been a mess for a long time because I've been so busy. But I did find the key. So I'd like to present you with it. I know that being a detective and all that, and y'all's in the Hollywood Chris, and there's the key. I found it. So just letting you know, just saying.
You're giving me the key to the city back.
I'm giving the key to the city back.
Gosh.
Yeah, because I have no room for it.
But you can wear it on your head also.
You can put this on.
It's a hat. That's right. It's a hat. For those of you that are listening to the Shrink and Wrap show, Gasparilla is a big deal, and the key to the city.
Big deal.
We're always looking for it. The pirates come for it, but I just found it in my closet the other day. So there you go. All right. What do you have about love bombing, Detective Jay?
Well, you know what's interesting is love bombing it's manipulative. It leads to emotional and psychological harm, right? That we're talking about, where Ween was talking about how you rush in. And basically, too, I found when people try to manipulate, if you don't do what they want you to do, then they kind of start to cut things off.
Or
they make you feel like, oh, I'm losing this, right?
Or you're to blame.
So that can cause emotional and psychological harm to the love. So what it also does is, interesting enough, love bombing can lead to love blaming.
Right.
And then what happens is, it's very interesting. Love blaming can become a crime of passion, and it has actually been used in a legal defense. Interesting. So
Very
a crime of
interesting.
passion. So, for example, somebody walks in on somebody, they find their significant other in a compromising position, and then what happens with somebody else? They end up harming them. So again, this love blaming can come from love bombing, which in turn can turn into a crime.
Wow.
And there's been lots of movies like that.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
A
of
ton
course.
of them.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I kind of like to leave the romance and love. I mean, I that's like, it's can get a little dark, basically.
Well, but that's with my segment. That's where it goes sometimes.
So what do you do
right?
about that? You just don't allow it? You create the boundary from the beginning? Like, what's the answer to that?
You have to stop it, right, Hollywood? You have to. Would you stop it if somebody just started like pushing in on your space?
Well, you have to identify it, because the person pushing in probably don't know that's what they're doing. They're crowding you. They're
hurrying it.
Yes.
They're time warping you. They're making you.
So they might not know
act on
what
their
they're
time.
doing. So if you identify it and go, hey, we need to slow down. That's a good word. Or take a break. Whatever the word is.
Yeah.
But you two different lives coming together, and you have to ask yourself, am I ready for this, or are you ready for this? Or
And I'm not quite there yet.
and that's
we're
like
happy where we're at. Just
and that's like if it's all innocent. But if you got somebody that's really doing this love bombing, that is
With an agenda.
So
Yeah,
right,
With an
and
agenda.
then
That's a good word.
I would
Yeah.
say, like a lot of people have done, talk to their previous girlfriend or boyfriend.
Oh, that's a perfect
And
thing
I
to
don't
know.
know about
Well,
that.
I'm just
I don't
saying.
agree with that.
So
I don't.
if you could,
If you could,
if you
that's
could
a good
reach
idea.
out, because it's at a point where you're like, I want to find out if like he did this with them, and there's a pattern. That's what law enforcement does many times, is they look at a pattern. And so,
But I feel like if you have to go to that degree of researching,
yes,
I just say turn the page.
yes, turn the page.
And move
And-
on.
Correct.
Because if
again-
you've got to go to that
Right.
level, there's something wrong.
But
Yeah,
and
there's
that's
something
where it
giving you
gets
a
to
red
the
flag.
psychological harm.
Yeah.
I don't think you
exactly.
have to even ask. Your friends, your circle of friends should be able to identify the same thing you're feeling,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they'll be telling you, "Hey, this guy or this girl is moving too fast."
And that's okay
And
to
it-
tell
and
them
it-
if you're
Exactly.
good friends.
Yeah.
For
And
certain.
it also
Yeah.
segment.
That's why I have you.
I found out by researching
That's why
this,
I've
it
done
also
that.
goes into control.
Yeah.
It's a big control thing.
Oh yeah.
Love bombing, love blaming, big control thing.
Yeah. And the thing is that I feel like I want to be on a positive note about love too, because I
Okay.
know today when we end the show, and I appreciate that information, but
Yeah.
you're right. One thing can lead to another.
100%.
But what I would like to address too is that, to me, why rush things anyway? Because don't you want to take the beginning slow and
Which
enjoy
is always
it and
the best
simmer it?
part of a
Yeah.
relationship. In
Stretch
the
it
beginning.
out.
If you
Stretch
can
it
do
out.
like
Yeah.
Rowene said, respect.
Yeah.
Mutual respect. And if I could stop and say, hey, Hollywood, we got to slow down a little bit here. And he's like, you're right. That's okay. I don't have to call you every day or whatever. We'll get together on the weekend, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's good. But if you've got somebody that's like, well, I mean, if I can't call you, then if I can't this,
Yeah, if I can't
right,
reach you, then
right,
I know
right.
I
You-
won't bother
you start
because you're too
identifying
busy.
maybe this person is something that's going on.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's always good. Something to think about.
Yeah.
And again, you're listening to the Shrink and Wrap Show right here at Tan Talk Radio 106.1. And we've got the Shrink that just hung up, and we have the Wraps, and we have DJ Avery.
Yeah.
And we're also already getting down close to time. We got about 12 minutes left for the show. But Hollywood Chris, so thank you for that, Detective Jay.
Yeah.
Hollywood Chris, can you tell us a little bit about this weekend, and what would you like to say?
This
past
weekend
week.
passed.
Yeah, this past weekend.
It was month of May, military and law enforcement month.
Yeah.
So they were recognized. And actually, my American Post 5, American Legion Post 5, had a service like they always do.
That's nice.
And they made the news, and they were on TV, and they were all happy.
Nice.
People showed up. So it's actually. What's the barbecue place?
Mission Barbecue.
Mission
Oh,
Barbecue.
Mission Barbecue is
Yes.
big.
Want to
Hey.
shout out to them for sure.
Yes, for sure. A good friend of ours, they give away lunches.
Are
to
they
the
on
military.
Kennedy? Are they 813-727? Are they all over?
They're all Waters. They're all over
They're
the
at-
place.
yeah.
Say it
they're
again. I want to give them a
Anderson.
big shout
Yeah.
out because
Yeah.
they're supporting
Mission
something good in our
Barbecue
community.
always support the military.
Okay.
Yes.
Always.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, and speaking of that, can you tell us what's going on in entertainment? Because we have about maybe down to 5 minutes now. And can you give us an entertainment? I'm going to get Devin real quick.
Okay, today, the current week, we have concerts. Sam Hunt is at Seminole Hard Rock tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And obviously, you can get tickets on Ticketmaster or Jambase or all those StubHubs. Styx will be at Mid-Florida Amphitheater Saturday, May 31st with a personal. One of the artists that I love was Don Felder with the Eagles.
Eagles. Oh,
Uh-huh.
wow.
Don't you remember the Eagles? Like they have so many good songs. And Kevin Crowan. And then in St. Pete, if you like a little bit of country, Dylan Gossett is at Janice Landing tonight, actually, at 8 p.m. And then also Reverend Horton Heat is at Janice Landing tomorrow night. If you like a little bit of rockabilly and alternative music, you got to catch him. He has a harmonica. It's just great. It's kind of like the swing comedy in the comedy section. Desi Banks is at the Funny Bone. If you haven't seen him, he's on his Elevation tour. Funny guy. Saturday, May 31st at 6:30 p.m. And then we have the Taste of Clearwater, May 31st, Saturday at 1 p.m. at Coachman Park. All kinds of vendors, fun things to do. And that's it.
Thank you so much for that. And stay hydrated, everybody. Don't forget to drink your water. We're real big on drinking your water.
I need water right now.
There's heat index is up, so make sure you drink your water. And thank you for that. And now we're going to switch over to Devin, Devin is one of our nonprofit. Oh my gosh, what are you? You do so much, Angels. Yes, and thank you. You got your big event, Denims and Diamonds, coming up this year. So can you tell us about that?
Yes. Thank you for having me on the show. I am Devin Pappas, and I'm the founder of Raising Relief Foundation. First, I'd just like to say what we actually do.
Yes.
We actually fill in the gaps for other nonprofits and people in needs for all societal issues. And what that means is it could be hunger, homelessness, it could be veterans, animal cruelty, sexual abuse, foster children, whatever the needs are. We help people in crisis, and then we also help fill in the gaps for those nonprofits that are actually on the first line with people in our community. And Denim and Diamonds is our fundraiser, which is fun.
I bet. I was like, wow.
Yes, and we're just getting geared up again.
Yes.
We didn't have it last year. It's our only annual event because of the hurricanes, of course. So what we really need is support from the community to come out bigger and better than ever. It's going to be at the Sheraton Sand Key on September 13th. What I do also want to talk about is the new program that we just started. Raising Relief Foundation hurts our hearts that people are only philanthropic with toys and kids and all that kind of stuff at Christmas time. So Raising Relief Foundation has just launched a program called the Kids and Teens Birthday Club. And you will find boxes with all this information on it. So we are collecting birthday toys for teens and kids, and it could be gifts for the teens, and they are at various locations in the Bel Air, Largo area. So you can find them at Coastal Market 607, Bel Air Market, and a few other locations in the area. You can always go to our website and get the details. So when you're out and you're about and shopping, please pick up something and a toy, or I don't care if it's at the Dollar Tree. Just remember coloring books, anything that's going to make a kid feel special, because that is the day that celebrates them, but no one's celebrating them. So please help us with the toys for their birthdays.
And I'm so glad you're spreading the love, because sometimes some nonprofits will focus on one big one when there's so many others. I love that you're spreading the love.
Well, who am I to say what societal issue is more important?
Yeah,
and
that's what
right?
I'm saying. So I love that it's going for
Yes.
every, I mean, I love that. So thank you for what you do, and you do so much in our community. And your show is right after.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about that too. But
Yeah.
3 more locations I just thought of the top of my head.
Say it.
Village Inn in Largo has a donation box. Krabby Bill's, the original Krabby Bill's on Indian Rocks Beach, and VIP Mexican restaurant on Indian Rocks Beach also. So please, again, help us help the children, the foster children. We're working with 3 nonprofits, homeless, and then poverty-stricken children that can't afford birthday gifts to parents. They can come to raisingrelieffoundation.org.
I have a question.
Yes.
Suitcases, luggage for foster children, because most of the time they leave with a bag. Is that a good item to bring?
I don't know if it's quite a birthday gift. We're thinking more special. I mean,
Like a new backpack or something.
oh, a new backpack would be fantastic.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's a luggage, something like that.
A new backpack would be fantastic for
Okay,
absolutely
got it.
for a gift. That would be
Good.
so fun and cool.
So
Absolutely.
Devin, your show is on after mine.
Yes.
So every Thursday. Are you on once a week, or are you on more than once a week?
Once a week
Okay.
on Tan Talk Radio.
Well, what is the name of your show?
It's Be Local Buzz with Devin, your community connector.
So I wanted to share that with everybody. Then I would like everyone to stay on after you, because we have another show after with Dawn.
Yes.
So there's 3 shows back to back right here in your community station. Stay tuned. Listen to Devin, and you will learn more about this event that's coming up. I have been. Renee, you say you've been.
I've been. It's
And it is-
great. It's a great fun event.
It-
Denim and Diamonds.
Yes,
But I
of
just
course.
didn't recognize how much you did. And when I went to that, I was like, wow, that's a lot of work. And thank you for being you. And you were hustling around during the hurricanes.
Yes.
And so thank you for being you. So anytime you want
Absolutely.
airtime on my show, you come on. But again, stay tuned for her show
Thank you
after
so much.
and throughout the year. What's
Appreciate
the date
it.
of the event?
September 13th, and you can always go to raisingrelieffoundation.org for information.
Okay, we thank you for you, and thank you for what you do for our community.
Thank you so
You're
much,
awesome.
and thank you for having me.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. Okay, with that being said, I just want everybody to know that the Shrink and Wrap Show is all about elevating you up and living your best life. And, we've been talking about love, and we're talking about, words that I want to talk about the good in love. I want to end it on a good note today. So the closing statement I have one for every show. When the trust is high, communication is easy, instant, and effective. So trust in love, because we believe in love here. We're just throwing out these vocabulary words in a modern world of dating because it really isn't. It really is different. But trust in love and keep the spice going. Let's not take the fun out of love. I want you to listen to some hot chocolate. How many of you like hot chocolate during the summer? I think you might like this hot chocolate. It's a group that sings. Well, I'll let you know. You sexy thing. I said it. There you go. On the Shrink and Wrap Show. We'll see you next week. Have a great week. Let's listen to hot chocolate. You sexy thing.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, baby? How did you know I needed you? How did you know I needed you so badly? How did you know I'd give my heart gladly? Yesterday, I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, making love to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, angel? How did you know I'd be the one? Did you know you're everything I prayed for? Did you know every night and day for? Every day, needing love and satisfaction. Now you're lying next to me, giving it to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Kiss me, you sexy thing. Touch me, baby, you sexy thing. I love the way you touch me, darling. You sexy thing. Oh, sexy, you sexy thing. Yesterday, I was one of the lonely people. Now you're lying close to me, giving it to me. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Oh, touch me. Kiss me, darling. I love the way you hold me.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.